You ripping some 91 Donruss. Series 1 and 2. And see if we can't get us a Elite Series or Legend Series. One of the nicest inserts from the early 90s. From the 90s in general, if you ask me. So, let's see what we can do here. These are jumbo packs. Pretty nice. Got Jimmy Poole, Rick Hansen, a checklist. Rickey Henderson, MVP card. There we go. Kirk Gibson, another great player. You know, in the days of $600 Bowman baseball, I'd rather open up a box like this any day. Mike Fielder, another checklist. And this is where maybe there might be an Elite Series. Got the Cecil Fielder Grand Slammer insert, pretty cool. Darryl Strawberry, that's a nice card. I like that one. Looks like he just did that after he signed. Got the Doug Drabek. Doug Drabek was a good pitcher. Steve Carter, Kevin Mitchell. MVP is pretty nice. Eddie Murray as a Dodger. It's always weird for me to see him as a Dodger. Marvin Freeman, but we're getting a lot of Hall of Famers. This is a Matt Williams card. Hall of Famers and stars. Dave Parker on the Brewers, 91. Really cool. I love those inserts. Actually, these are not inserts. These are part of the base set, but still cool. Brent Nackert, Steve Carter, Marvin Freeman, Joe Bover, David Wells, Boomer. He was a good dude. I liked him. Jim Gantner, Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. So I'm just making a little Hall of Fame pile here. There's the Eddie Murray highlights card. Insert. There's a Cal Ripken insert too. Highlights, pretty cool. So wow, this pack, there's been a lot of great players coming out of this pack. Frank Wills, Candy Maldonado, Mickey Tettleton, Nelson Liriano, Rich Garces, and the kid. That's a pretty sweet one too, huh? That's a nice card. See, if I get a cheap box like this and I get a card that I really like, this one looks really as good as it gets. I got to look at it later, but, you know, put it with the rest of my Griffies. Got a lot of other Griffies I would send in the grade before I would send in something like this. I know this card isn't worth anything, but nice card to have. I like to put cards that are really well centered like this one is. I mean, this card is a mint card. This card would get a mint grade as far as I could tell. You see the centering is pretty perfect. And top to bottom is pretty nice too. And, wow, I didn't even look at the back. Interesting mark. I got to look at that up with the glasses later. But let's see. Do the other ones have that? I never noticed that. Yep, they all have it. So that's... So looking at the back here, the back's pretty nice, right? This Griffey. So, cool card. We'll put that one to the side. And we'll keep the rest of my Hall of Fame pile going. And I have huge mail day today. If you see behind me, it's the Ichiro rookie 2001 Bowman Chrome. And that is a big card for me. Okay, let's get into this pack here. Craig Worthington. Roberto Alomar. Now, Roberto Alomar is a Hall of Famer who literally probably has the lowest price cards. I mean, I know his rookie year was not really a time where there were, you know, too much happening. But, yeah, he's not the most liked guy, I would say. I got a checklist here. Corey Snyder, Scott Fletcher, Mike Witt, Eck. Put him in a Hall of Fame pile. Or the star pile. Oh, it was a nice Fred McGriff there. And this is a nice looking set, too. I mean, I love Donruss. Donruss is really great. There's Bobby Witt Sr. there. And probably the best hitter I ever saw in my life, Tony Gwynn. I don't think there's any question. He's the best hitter that I saw with my two eyes. The nice Diamond Kings, Dave Parker. So if we're going to hit the Elite Series, it's now. Will we hit one? Nope. Got a Joe Carter Grand Slammers insert. Pretty cool. Mariano Duncan. Bo Bichette's daddy, Dante Bichette. Really good player. Had a really solid bunch of years. Really super talented guy. Hector Villanueva. Big Mac highlights insert. Really cool. I might just end up putting this highlight set together. Francisco Cabrera, Bob Melvin, Terry Steinbeck, Juna Felix, Kevin Brown. Great pitcher. Really, guys don't think too much about Kevin Brown. Baseball's an unforgiving game where, man, unless you're Sandy Koufax or Bob Gibson or, whoever, people forget about you. Well, some do. Guys like me don't. Calvin Schiraldi, Mike Schooler, Joe McGrain, Jeff Robinson, Bob Patterson. I like to say the names of the guys if I am familiar with most of these guys, but if I can pronounce their name, because everybody deserves to have their name said. These guys made it to the big league. So Juan Berenguer, Steve Lake, Mark Knudsen, John Franco. John Franco was really a really great pitcher. He really was. From Brooklyn. Shout out to... There's a Cecil Fielder, Diamond Kings. Chet Lemon, Tim Cruz. Not that Tim Cruz. And Cal Ripken, All-Star. And a Phil Plantier. Let's do a Series 1. Would be nice to hit a Elite Series. I got these, this box is so cheap, man. I got it at a card show. I think I got both boxes, like a jumbo box filled with 91 Series 1 and 2 for, I think, $25. So that's a score. Bob Patterson, Juan Berenger again, Steve Lake. This is like the same pack. Look at this. Same pack. Cecil Fielder. Wow, the collation was crazy. Chet Lemon. We got another Cal Ripken. That literally was the same pack we just picked up. And let's see, is there an Elite Series here? No. Joe Carter, Grand Slammers. Sandy Alomar. Brett Saberhagen, awesome pitcher. Really, really was a fantastic guy. He had a really pretty good career. You look at some of these numbers. Mike Fitzgerald, Mike Henneman, Tim Belcher, Steve Sachs. Steve Sachs was a ball player. And boom, there's something. Tino Martinez rookie. I don't have that. That's awesome. That's cool, man. I'm a big fan of Tino Martinez, and I'm happy to have a Tino Martinez rookie in the collection. I have some other ones, but this is actually the nicest one. This one's cut pretty nice. Back looks pretty good. Love the back of Donruss with those aqua backs. Nice card. Tino was no joke, man. He had big shoes to fill as a Yankee. And, man, did he do that job. He did it pretty well. I'll find myself a top loader over here. We'll put Tino to the side for now. So I've been having more luck with Series 1, Series 2. But I got these boxes, and I'm seeing everybody posting their Bowman stuff, and, look, if you're ripping a Bowman, good luck, man. I hope you hit something good. but I just can't do it for that price. It's just too crazy. We're talking crazy numbers now for majority cards that aren't worth anything. Here's Gene Harris, Craig Biggio, another Hall of Famer, Kirby Puckett. We got 2 Hall of Famers. This is Fernando with the highlights card. Pretty cool. Philip Lakota, Ruben Sierra, Tim Bernansky, Kevin Apier, John Burkett, Juan Augusto, Gary Wayne, and another Joe Carter. Grand Slammers. This set was for anybody who hit a Grand Slam in 1990. I think they're pretty cool. You know, for a paper card, looks really cool. Not everything has to be fancy. There is the Ryne Sandberg National League All-Star. Nice to see that National League logo. Used to mean something back in the days, the National League, American League. Not anymore. I don't even think they have separate offices anymore. Yeah, Brady Anderson, Gary Pettis, Jose Rio, John Burkett, Frank Viola. Really good pitcher, Frank Viola. Phil Bradley, Jim Nerden. I don't remember him. Matt Young, Chuck Knobloch rookie card, man. See, this is the thing about this kind of stuff, you know. Chuck Knobloch, really good player, and this is nostalgic for me, so that's cool. I got 2 rookie cards tonight that I think are pretty cool, and I do collect rookie cards, so that's awesome. Kevin Moss. There's a nice Kirk Gibson. Put that in the star pile. Kevin Brown, another Kevin Brown. That's interesting. I'm going to juxtapose that with the other Kevin Brown. It's funny when guys, you know, like Mike Tyson. You guys have all seen the white Mike Tyson. Now you've seen the black Kevin Brown. And there's also a white Bob Gibson. It's just funny. Baseball card. Baseball's funny, you know. Rick Russell. Joe Carter, man. Joe Carter was... You talk about hitting that home run that everybody dreams about when you're a kid playing stickball, playing baseball, whatever, man. Joe Carter did that. Hugest home run as a Blue Jay. And I'll put that in the star pile there. There's Matt Stark. George Bell. A.K.A. Jorge Bell. After, I think, 1983, he did not appear as George anymore on his cards. It was only Jorge. Mike Felder, Jim Deshaies, Bud Black, Andy Hawkins. This is the highlights inserts, which is pretty cool. George Brett, that's a nice one. George Brett. That's a pretty nice looking card, too. That's about as clean as it gets, you know. And it's nice to open up a box that's so old and get a mint card out of it. You know, this is a mint card. This card's going to be mint. Not going to grade the card, but you can tell by looking at it. The card is perfect. And Donruss seemed to have really good quality control for a long time, where maybe Topps wasn't as on top of it. So this is fun. Getting some nice rookies here, man. I tell you, I love ripping cheap old boxes of or cheap old packs. Let's do... Yeah, I'm going to put together this this set, I think. Put together the Grand Slammer set. Oh, wait, I got some cards I didn't look at before. That's Pedro Guerrero, Cecil Fielder, Mike Boddicker, Tony Fernandez. Tony Fernandez, man. I remember him. Well, rest in peace. Get these cards out of the way. And Melito Perez highlights. That's pretty cool. No hits to Yankees. That's not that cool, but hey. Junior Noboa, Joe Pilker, Tony Pena. Man, Tony Pena, you know, this is going to go into my quarter classics file, all right? Shout out to my boy Joe. Cards with the Kid. Shout out to the Five Tool Show. We do this thing called Quarter Classics. And, man, these are just cool cards. Love to have cards. You know, a card like this, look, I don't need to worry about grading it or touching it or anything. This card isn't worth anything. But, you know, to me, it's worth something. Just a beautiful, just great cards, man. Two legendary dudes, too, man. Tony Perez. Tony Pena. Tony Perez, too. Tony Pena, of course, guy wanted to take over as the manager of the Yankees. Danny Tartabull. Sandy Alomar is an awards winner. Card that's not an insert. Rafael Ramirez. Dave LaPointe. Jim Needlinger. Tom Brookins. Andy Van Slyke, who was really a really good player. Did not get along with Barry Bonds. Andy Hawkins. And let's see, do we have an elite? Nope. Luis Polonia, Grand Slammer. So we'll put that in the pile of stuff I'm going to play around with. Monty Harris, Greg Brock, Gerald Young, Don Robinson, Ron Darling. Ron Darling really had some great years, pitched some really big games. And, of course, Ron Darling, part of the award-winning team with him, Gary Cohen, and Keith Hernandez. Those guys are fantastic. They really are. Got to tip your cap to them. And the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Nice-looking card. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. Dennis Cook, Eric Hansen, Travis Fryman. There's a Jesse Barfield. Jesse had a cannon. He really had a cannon. John Wetterland. I'm going to just not even say anything about John Wetterland. John Wetterland, yeah, okay. Ernest Riles, Joe Bulver, I don't remember him. Tim Wallach, good third baseman. Tim Wallach was a good player. And Mookie Wilson as a Blue Jay. This is going to have to go into the, odd uniforms box. I know some people, my man Oak Tree, he collects like that. It's very cool. Love seeing players in odd uniforms that you do not expect them in. And if you guys are joining, welcome. Friday night, late night baseball cards. We're just having fun here. Opening up some 91 Donruss, hunting for an Elite Series or a Legend Series. That would be pretty amazing to hit either one of those. So let's get back into it. Should I put some music on? This is Greg Vaughn, Mike Scott. You know, there's so much talk of cheating in baseball nowadays, but Mike Scott was accused heavily of cheating. Of course, you know, when you're up against the New York press, man, I feel for you. That's when they go after you. And I don't know if he's cheating or not. He probably was, but everybody, you know, look, I'm not going to get into all that. Sour grapes. 2017, the Astros, they beat the Yankees. You know what? With the amount of money that the Yankees are spending, you should have figured out that they were cheating, or you should have done something yourself. And I don't want to hear any more about it. I can't. No one's taking away any titles. I do think players should have been punished for cheating, but taking away a title, it's never going to happen. It's like when the umpire made that horrible mistake and took a perfect game away from that kid. You know, he didn't get his perfect game back. When they make a bad call, when something bad happens, I mean, look, this is America. If you cheat and you win, unfortunately, you get away with it. And, you know, whatever. Terry Mulholland, insert. No-hitter. Cal Ripken, errorless game streak. Omar Olivares. I went to junior high with a dude named Omar Olivares. Real cool guy. Edwin Nunez, Sam Horn, John Cerruti, Brian Harper, Carl Rhodes, and Joe Klink. I mean, I absolutely get so much joy out of opening up these old boxes. I tell you, I really do. And we got Rafael Palmeiro, a guy who was caught lying about doing steroids to Congress. So he's persona non grata now. Meanwhile, we got people in Congress who lie for a living every day, and it's all good. So yeah, whatever. Not saying that he should be in a Hall of Fame, but it's almost as if like this guy's been erased in the history. The guy could play. Let's be honest here. I mean, yeah, he was doing something, but whatever. I don't condone any of it, and I don't get into all that. I'm a Barry Bonds fan. I know the man cheated, but whatever. It is what it is. Mel Stottlemyre. Okay. Old Mel. And the Stottlemyre family, that's Mel Jr. Sid Fernandez, Sandy Alomar, Brett Saberhagen, Mike Fitzgerald, Mike Henneman, Tim Belcher, Steve Sachs. I got this pack before. Another Tino Martinez rookie. Let's go. I'm juiced up, man. 2 Tino Martinez rookies. I can't tell you, like, this just makes me happy. I don't, care about pulling some fancy card. I got 2 nice Tinos. And you know what? Maybe I could get Tino to sign one of these. That'd be really cool. Just great cards, man. Just a great looking card. Well, let's keep it going. Tom Candiotti, Ken Oberkfell. And again, we're not going to hit it. Here's Ron Kokovic. I can't say Ron's name. I'm sorry, Ron. I'll put you aside into the folder. Into the pile of Grand Slammers. Carney Lansford, Willie Blair, Trevor Wilson, Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is a damn good pitcher. Gary Templeton, really good shortstop. Keith Comstock, Ozzy, the Wizard of Oz. Put him in the Hall of Fame pile there, in a star pile. Greg Cadaret, Jay Bell, Greg Gagne, Charlie Hayes, man. I wonder if that was Charlie Hayes' rookie. No, it wasn't his rookie. Charlie Hayes, this, of course, the daddy of Brian Hayes. This, of course, the man who made the last out in the 1996 World Series for the New York Yankees. And there's Hall of Famer Robin Yount with an incredible mustache. This pack is really turning out to be something else now. We got Robin Yount. We got the Strikeout Doctor. Great card. Man, I just collect Dwight Gooden. I've come to that conclusion that I PC Dwight Gooden. There's another Mel Stottlemyre Jr., Spike Owen, Jeff Robinson, Ron Gant. Bo, there's a nice bow. Pretty cool, huh? Man, I still get a kick out of pulling a Bo Jackson insert from 1991 where they made a gazillion cards. Still fun. There's Henry Cotto, Tom Pagnazzi, Oscar Ozokar, Bobby Bowe, Mitch Williams, Greg Harris, and Kent Merker. And what's nice about ripping this stuff as opposed to Bowman is that, you know what? I know who these guys are. I don't know who these Bowman kids are, man. These kids are like, these kids are young. They're like 17 years old. It's all good. It's just kind of crazy. Let's do a series 1. Wow, I've been ripping, huh? I don't have that many left. Let's see. Well, no one's watching, so I can have a beer break there. Have a sip of the brewski. Well, no one's watching, so I can have a beer break there. Have a sip of the brewski. Oh, you hear that? Now we're getting the feedback. That's no good. Okay, let's do a series 1. I've been getting more luck with the series 1. And I get people jumping on just for a moment, and then they get off. But that's cool. I'm having fun. I'm sharing what I like to do. Late night, my wife went to sleep. I'm getting up early in the morning because I always get up early. There's a Mike Pagliarulo. That might have to go with the Court of Classics box. Let's go. Let's go. Put that with the Court of Classics. What did I do with the other Court of Classics? Oh, yeah, here they go. Here they go. They got some nice Court of Classics here. There's a Randy Johnson, great Hall of Famer. Nice looking card, pretty cool. Jose De Leon, Lee Guterman, Wally Backman. You know, Wally Backman's a madman. Mets should have hired him to coach that team. I'm gonna put this in my Court of Classics too. What a lunatic. He's an OG guy. Respect Wally Backman. He's a Rick Aguilera. He's a pretty good pitcher. Roger McDowell, another pretty good pitcher. Chris Bosio, David Cone, awesome pitcher. If he was around now, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Brian Harper, Mark Kubicka, Dennis Martinez, and let's go. Are we going to hit one? No, we're going to hit it. Jay Buhner. Jay Buhner was awesome, though. I'm a Jay Buhner fan. And when he hit 40 bombs back in the day, that was a big deal in those times. Let me tell you. Greg Olson, Jeff Ballard, Carney Lansford, Willie Blair, Trevor Wilson, Kenny Rogers again. There's a Gary Templeton. I got this pack before. Dan Gladden, Rafael Palmeiro. How many of these Rafael Palmeiros have I gotten? There's a bunch. There's a Mel Stoudemire Jr. again, Jeff Robinson, Dave Johnson. Tom Glavine, Hall of Famer. There's a Lenny Dykstra, Diamond King. He's a maniac if I ever seen one. Joel Skinner, Bob Guerin. I don't remember him. Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer. And my man Dave Stewart. What a great pitcher, Dave Stewart. And by the way, today we lost two great pitchers. And I was thinking about great pitchers for the Oakland Athletics, and I thought about Vida Blue. Rest in peace, Mr. Blue. And, of course, we lost Mr. Brown, another legend. I believe he was 87 years old, the Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, and Will Clark. So rest in peace to both of those gentlemen. Both great players. There's a Kurt Stillwell, and there's a Randy Johnson insert, and a Pete O'Brien. Yeah, today was a tough day for the sports world. Losing two really respected, tremendous players. Vida, however you call him. I used to call him Vida. And, of course, Jim Brown, so... Man, I'd love to hit a Elite Series. I really would love to hit an Elite Series. And there is the Iron Man Cal Ripken. Put him into the Hall of Fame pile. We hit some nice cards. Jeff Montgomery, Vicente Palacios, Mike Boddicker, Brian McRae. It's pretty cool. Francisco Olivares. Carl Rhodes, Eric Plunk, I do remember him well. Alfredo Griffin, pretty good shortstop. Billy Hatcher, I remember all these guys. John Smiley, Kevin Mitchell, the MVP insert, or it's actually not an insert. And we got a Matt Williams, Grand Slammer. These cards are very, very cool. I really like them. Like I said, for paper cards, they're pretty cool. Steve Carter. Andy Hawkins, Eddie Murray, again, in that weird... I mean, I know there's so many cards with him in the dot. It's just always weird for me to see him outside the Orioles uniform, that legendary mustache. Matt Williams. Matt Williams is no joke, man. That dude could play. He could ball. Ricky Jordan, Brian Harper, MVP card. Al Leiter, there he goes. Big fan of Al Leiter. Thought he was awesome on the Yes broadcast. Mike Scott again. Rance Mullins. Rance Mullenix. I do remember him, but mispronounced there. And there's Eddie Murray. And there's a Darryl. Very, very cool. Always great to get those guys. Two legends. Frank Tanana. Frank Tanana was no joke. His rookie season was 1974. And of course, these cards, it's kind of cool about Donruss. They only gave you the last 5 years. And then they gave you the career. But yeah, let's see. What did it say? Yeah, 53. So he was 22 when he debuted. Frank Tanana, no joke, man. Guy had a good career. And what was his numbers like here? Well, a 3.5 ERA and 500 games. That's more than respectable. Gave up 3,442 hits. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, 3,442 hits in 3,580 innings. That's more than respectable. 1,424 strikeouts. And this is, this is late on into his career. Some pretty good numbers here. And I'm trying to see the wins and loss. I do not have, 207 wins and 196 losses. I mean, Frank Tanana is no joke. I mean, those numbers are good. Mike Marshall, first baseman. And, of course, it was another Mike Marshall. And this ain't him because he wasn't playing when he was 9. There's Frank Willis, Roy Smith, Rafael Ramirez, Reggie Harris, Jose DeJesus, Sandy Alomar, Checklist, Jerry Goff, Kevin Mitchell, Russ Swan, Tim Wallach, and Damon Berryhill. All right, we got 5 packs left. Let's do a Series 1. Go grab a beer real quick since no one's watching. All right, let's get to it. Get back to it, I should say. Been a long, long week at work. Opening up some packs, relaxing, sharing it with the community. Hey, I'm into it. All right, so Jim Presley, Billy Ripken, Mike Moore, Todd Stottlemyre. We got Mel Jr., Gary Carter, man, the kid, Hall of Famer. Interesting looking car. Always weird to see him as a Giant. And, another Charlie Huff, Mike Pagliarulo, Oral Hershiser, Carlos Baerga, Mark Portugal, Greg Olson, Lance Johnson. And there's a Bobby Bowe. Jim Presley, Billy Ripken, Mike Moore. It's the same pack again, folks. As you can see, the collation was not so great, but hey, I'm getting a bunch of Hall of Famers. There's Wally Backman again, Rick Aguilera, Roger McDowell, Chris Bozio, David Cohn, Brian Harper, Mark Gabitska. I don't remember his name too well, but he did play some years though. He pitched guy pitched a lot of innings. Dennis Martinez, Lance McCullers, and I think his son is in baseball too now. And Fernando, and there's a Griffey. There's a Griffey. There we go. This is what we're looking for. The Griffey. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice card. And there's a Derek Bell rookie card. Jesse Orosco, Danny Darwin, Greg Hibbert, and Chris Sabo. Of course, he had them legendary glasses on, man. This dude was the man. I've had these packs in my house for a long time. Waiting for a night like tonight where I'm just like, I'm just going to rip some packs. Have some fun. So let's do it. Let's rip the rest of this stuff. I even got some 87 tops. You can rip that after this too. Let's get it all ripped up. Got ripped product in my house. Unripped product, rather. Here's Travis Fryman. Jerry Goff, Bob Welch, award winner. That's pretty cool. And there is the black Kevin Brown again. I got to put that next to the white Kevin Brown. It's pretty funny. I got to do that. Kevin Gross, Pete Incaviglia. Pete Incaviglia was the man. This dude was awesome. He really was. Guy was destroying it in college. Just Chris Hammond, Junior Ortiz, Mike Greenwell, and here's an Andres Galarraga insert. Grand Slammers. Pretty cool. There's a Ryan Sandberg MVP card. So no luck so far with the Elite Series or the Legend Series. Jim Eisenreich, Mike Fetters, Roberto Alomar, another Hall of Famer, but maybe the most hated Hall of Famer, Roberto Alomar. There's Brian McRae, Dave Winfield. Awesome card. I love Dave Winfield, man. He was one of my idols growing up as a kid. There's Bob Welch, pretty good pitcher. Steve Balboni, Jose Gonzalez, Willie McGee. Highlights insert. It's a pretty cool card. John Smiley, Bobby Thigpen, Cecil Fielder MVP. Let me put those together. There's another cool Barry Larkin card. Hall of Famer. I mean, we're just getting chock full of Hall of Famers here. Gene Harris, Felix Jose. Mike Benjamin, Len Dykstra, Ron Kittle, Bill Hasselman, B.J. Surhoff. Look, this guy had a pretty good career. He's a really good player. Ozzie Guillen, kind of a maniac. There's a Sandy Alomar. And I'll put that in and there's another big hurt, Frank Thomas. Cool card. There's a Dennis Cook and a Brent Nackert. So I'm down to 3 packs here, looking for this Elite Series. You never know. Yeah, really just never know. But we'll see. We will see. We will see. Just go for it. It'd be nice. Not. It is what it is. For me, just a ton of fun to rip these packs and say the names of these guys that just are relevant to baseball history. Some of these new packs, you open up these new Bowman products, and the truth is a lot of these guys are not going to make it. That's the truth. Like maybe half of them, and the ones that do make it, man, odds of I think the odds of you making it as a Hall of Famer are under 2%, like well under 2%. I think it's 1.2 or 1.18, something really low. So when you take that into consideration, any given release, the odds of anybody in that release being a Hall of Famer and being a great player are really low. Obviously, there are going to be players that do get into the Hall of Fame, but All the prospecting stuff is fun if you're into it. I think it's kind of nuts, to be honest, because if you're that good at it, you should be hired by a major league organization. So shout out to whoever's watching right now. Here's Jerry Willard, Alan Anderson, Jim Batcher, and this is a cool card, man. I really like these. This is the Willie Stargell card number 702. It's not an insert. It's part of the base set, but just a cool looking card. Of course, Willie Stargell, legend. And here is Jose De Jesus, Andre Thomas, Jeff Conine. Jeff Conine was a pretty good player. And that's his rookie card, Mike Gardner. And will we hit an Elite Series? I don't know. Marvin Freeman, Tim Wallach, Jeff Reed. And if we were to hit one, it would be right here. But it doesn't look like we're going to do that. We're going to hit a Cal Daniels, Grand Slammers. Luis Sojo, utility master. Luis Sojo is a really, really great defensive player. Joe Torre trusted him in huge spots. You know, ninth inning, Mariano Rivera on the mound. Time to close out this game. And Luis Sojo would be the guy that would be out there because this dude, he could play anywhere. And he's just a tremendous defensive player. One of those guys you could trust. Rafael Ramirez, Tim Drummond, Todd Burns, Dale Murphy. And another, you know, it's always weird for me to see Dale Murphy as a Philly. But, you know, there's John Orton, checklist, Scott Ruskin. There's a Hall of Fame. Ryan Sandberg, pretty cool card. This is a nice looking set. Russ Swan, Howard Farmer, Steve Wilson, Gerald Alexander, Stan Belinda, Charles Nagy, Ben McDonald, Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. These cards they really go for a lot of money. Looking into buying an 85 Fleer. Really nice card. Trying to get a good deal on one. Rich DeLuca, DeLucia, Brent Maine, Max Venable, Andy Bennis. Andy Bennis was a really good pitcher, man. This guy had some good numbers. Lifetime 3.5A at this point in his career. And hard for me to read all this stuff. Looking for strikeouts. Anyway. Kevin Appier, Kent Anderson, Jamie Quirk, Tim Hullett, and Chris Gwynn, Andres Thomas. So down to 2. Will we hit an Elite Series? Will we hit a Legend Series? Who knows? You know, who knows? Kind of a palette. Well, let's say a little bit more than a case hit, I think, is what the odds turn out to be. I could be wrong, though. I'll look into it. So, let's see what we got here. Mike Devereaux, Dan Petrie, Derek Lidquist, Carlos Martinez, Tim Drummond, Jamie Quirk, Barry Jones, Will Clark. It's pretty cool. Put that one aside. Jeff Parrott, I don't remember. Steve Carter, Scott Ruskin, Mike Parent. And here's a Barry Bonds. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Awesome card. Grand Slammers. And I do collect Barry Bonds, so I like that one. I have a bunch of those. Always good to have another one. There's Johnny Ray. And he has some history there with Barry Bonds. Of course, his 1987 Donruss opening day card is him on the cover. With Barry Bonds named on the card. Of course, that's a pretty rare era card, and I'd love to have one of those. Maybe I'll trade some cards and get something like that. Here's Craig Levers, Bo Jackson. Very cool. And here's another really cool card, not an insert, but part of the base set, the Dr. Dirt and Mr. Clean. One of the high-numbered cards, 744. Very, very cool. I do dig it. And shout out to Bill Brasky 86. Thank you, sir. This is fun. Ron Hassey, Eric Plunk, Carlos Hernandez, Mark Lemke, and Barry Bonds. Bow, that's a nice one too. Wow. Maybe top to bottom, not perfect, but left, right, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to have to sleeve that one. The great Barry Bonds. I know people can't stand this guy. You know, it's funny. I used to not like Barry Bonds. But then I said, you know what? He's like kind of like, he's just like a wrestling heel, man. He really is. You may not love him, but some people will. Here's Roger Clemens MVP card. Nice. I dig it. I love these cards. I think they're really cool. The MVP cards. Bob Welch, Mark Carrion. I don't even remember this guy, I'll be honest. Had a couple of seasons with the Mets. Well, he got some, 342. No. Career 342 at bats at that point in his career. Ron Oyster, Rafael Palmeiro, Danny Darwin, MVP card. Interesting. Doug Desha, I don't remember this guy. I really don't. I'd be lying if I told you I remember him. Alvin Davis. Rex Hudler, Walt Terrell, Tom Bolton, Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer, Wizard of Oz. Curt Schilling, guy who should be in the Hall of Fame, but people don't like his politics or whatever. I mean, it's so crazy. Curt Schilling absolutely belongs in the Hall of Fame, not only because of the fact that he has the numbers, but he was a big game pitcher, man. This guy won some monster games. He was a big money pitcher, destroyed the Yankees many times, and people don't like his politics, so he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's that simple. It's pretty dumb. If you're not nice to the press, they won't let you in. Ask Jim Rice. Jim Rice was not too press friendly, and it hurt him. Frank Robinson wasn't too press friendly, and that hurt him. It didn't hurt him getting into the Hall of Fame, but it hurt him. You know, some guys, they just want to play ball. They don't want to talk to you. You don't, whatever. Listen, if the fans have something to ask, I think a player should say something to the fans, because the fans are the ones who pay their bills at the end of the day. But the press, whatever. They cause enough problems with the Hall of Fame process, and it's been going on for 100 years almost. So let's keep it moving. Vicente Palacios, Joe Grahe, I don't remember him for anything. Jerry Willard, Mark Leonard, I remember him, left fielder. Todd Hundley, could forget, and Lee Stevens. Unfortunately, down to the last pack. And, got loaded with a bunch of really nice cards. Some great rookie cards. And big pull on the last pack. Shout out to Billy Brasky 86. Let's go. Let's get a 91 Elite Series. Let's get a Legend Series. Let's go. I would take anything right now. Don Carmen, Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Okay, let's go put him in a Hall of Fame pile there. And there's Dave Magadan. Here's another Dave Magadan. Bob Boone, Billy Sampson, Mickey Morandi, Juan Samuel, Mark Salas, Joe Oliver, Jack McDowell, Donnie Hill, Luis Salazar, and let's see, are we going to hit one? Andres Galarraga. No, we didn't hit it, but it's all good. Got an Andres Galarraga, Grand Slammer, and Mel Stottlemyre, Spike Owen, Jeff Robinson, Stan Javier, Sandy Alomar. Moises Alou rookie card. That's pretty cool. I collect all the Alous, man. The Alous are a family of baseball players. Amazing. And, Felipe, Moises, all those guys. I collect their cards. Eric Yelding, Eric King, Scott Scooter, Dick Schofield, I don't know, Les Lancaster, Bob Murphy, Tommy Gregg, Mark Williamson, Bobby Thigpen, Ellis Burks. Ellis Burks was a good player. Doug Jones, Alvaro Espinoza, Mark Kukovic, Walt Weiss, Terry Bross, Tom Henke, Greg Lifton, Julio Franco, the ageless wonder. This guy, man. Let's talk about Julio Franco for a moment. This guy was playing, I think he was still playing at 48. He might have been the last old guy to play. When was this dude born? Let's see. I really need to get glasses, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna pull the old loop thing out here. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, he was 30 years old here. And then I remember him playing for the Mets like 17 years later. Julio Franco. Julio Franco. I'm going to put him in the box. And I'm going to pull out some 87 tops right now and rip some of that. Let's get that going. All right, so we got some more stuff to rip here. I've had these cards in my house for like a year. And yeah, sometimes you got to rip them. Sometimes you got to rip them. And so let's pull out some of these rack packs. I probably got a few of them here. Let me make some room. And the nice thing, I was pretty much ripping all like cellos and rack packs tonight because, you know, with that stuff, at least you know you don't have the gum residue. You don't have any of those issues. So let's get into one of the coolest sets in history, 1987 Topps. All right. All right, so 87 Topps. These were, you got 48 cards, and you'd get that insert card, you know, the All-Star Game. That's actually an insert. These were the inserts in 1987. Let's get into it. Let's see what this box is, see what this pack is going to yield for us here. Whitey Herzog. Frank DiPino on the back. So let's get into this, man. This is a great set. Of course, there's some good rookies in this set. And you guys, I mean, if you're watching this video, you know who's in this set. Let's get that Barry Bonds. And there is Bill Madlock as a Dodger. Very weird. Jim DeShays. Tony Gwynn, the legend, man. Man, it always, you know, anytime I pull a Tony Gwynn card, it's something. It's something special. Something special, boys. I'll tell you. I like this live stuff, man. You do the live thing, There's no coming back from it. I'm live. That's it. No editing, none of this nonsense. I'm just talking. Talk about baseball cards. This is kind of therapeutic for me, boys. If you're into it, and girls or whoever's out there watching this stuff. Here's a Tony Gwynn, one of my heroes, man. Look at that beautiful card. Great background. You know, nice contrast with the blue and that jersey, you know, and then, of course, just that wood panel siding and those great jerseys and the great Tony Gwynn, man. So this card, so happy to have. You know, these cards make me happy. Here's a Bruce Ruffin, a Luis Salazar, Dan Petrie, Glenn Hoffman, Teddy Higuera, Tim Pishnarski. I don't remember that. I remember he was a future star, but he didn't really do too much. Bill Dawley, Red Sox leaders, Bobby Bowe. And we just hit a Barry Larkin rookie card. Hall of Fame rookie. Let's take a look at this real quick. This is, of course, the Barry Bowe rookie, but and here's another Hall of Famer, Mike Schmidt. But here is a Barry Larkin rookie card. Pretty nice shape. A little bit off left to right, but this is a Hall of Famer rookie card, so you gotta put her in the sleeve there, give her a top loader. Great card. Great player. Barry Larkin. Man, what a set this is. What a set. Love 87 Topps, man. I really do. So we pulled some nice cards already. And let's keep it moving. Jim Acker, Chris Bosio, Ray Quiones, Doug Drabeck as a Yankee. Interesting. And there's senior, Ken Griffey Sr., who, by the way, had a great career. I mean, you look at some of these numbers. Man, I really need to. I need to get my glasses out, man. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this thing here. Let's look at some numbers here. Be easier for me to just pull it up. But anyway, there's senior, legend. Man, these cards are so beautiful. 87 Topps, man. I could just go through crates of this stuff and just have fun. There's Doug Sisk, Randy O'Neal, Bruce Sutter, Hall of Famer. Rest in peace, sir. This guy was a really solid pitcher, and that's a pretty nice card. The nice thing about the rack packs is that they are generally in really good shape. I mean, no guarantee they'll be cut well, but you don't have to contend with the gum. And the gum residue is really a killer, and so is the wax adhesive. And those cards, I feel like they just don't do as well in a wax pack. So, and here's Bob Shirley, New York Yankees hurler, Ron Hassey, Tom O'Malley, Earl Weaver, legendary Hall of Fame manager, Earl Weaver. I wonder if they, let's see, 5 foot. What is his height on here? He's listed as, man, I got to look at this because somebody made a comment recently about Earl Weaver. 5'8". Yeah, he's listed at 5'8". He's probably 5'4". This dude was a maniac. Bruce Perroni, Rick Cerone. Remember Rick Cerone as a Yankee. Dwayne Ward, John Kruk rookie card. Let's go. The Krukster. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So we hit a John Kruk rookie card. John Kruk is one of the coolest personalities in baseball. He really is a fun dude. And, yeah, really cool, man. Cool card. He's a pretty good player, too. That's pretty cool. So we're hitting some good rookie cards here tonight. Some decent cards. Yep. Dave Magadan. Don't get me started. Dick Hauser. Alvaro Espinoza. Frank DePino. And there's the Whitey Herzog insert. 86 All-Star Game commemorative set. This is a 22-card set. And these bring back a lot of memories. Topps have been using this kind of format for a while. With the glossies. Well, these cards were glossy, and then they had the card where you could get the glossies. Jeff Reardon, Pat Sheridan, Tony Gwynn. Let's go. Great card, man. What a great card. A great player. Great player, great card. Steve Crawford, Vince Coleman. There you go. Damaso Garcia, Cal Daniels, Carmelo Martinez, Terry Forster, Dwight Evans, a really legitimate dude, and Dennis Martinez, Steve Balboni, Mike Brown, Mike Fischlin, Randy St. Clair, and Juan Augusto. So we did get a Barry Larkin rookie out of that. That's pretty cool. Hall of Fame piles. Pretty thick over here. Pretty thick. And we got another Hall of Famer right on the cover here. Bruce Sutter. Okay, rack pack number 2. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. How many we got left? 2, 3. We got a bunch. We got a bunch of cards to rip, boys. We got a bunch of cards to rip. All right, let's get into it here. Here we got Tom Herr, Tommy John. Of course, the Tommy John surgery named after him. Gary Lucas, Eric Davis, great player. Scott Nielsen, Scott Bales, Tom Bernansky, Mike Marshall, Cecil Cooper, Andy Hawkins, Vernon Rule, Pete Incaviglia, gold rookie Cubs, pretty cool. Very, very cool card. Tom Brookins, Ricky Henderson. We got a Roger Clemens. We got 2 Hall of Famers in a row. Of course, no cool inserts in this. There's nothing fancy you're going to pull, but there's another Hall of Famer. The great Bruce Sutter. Rest in peace, sir. Ron Hassey, Tracy Jones, Greg Nelson, Ed Nunez, Rick Cerrone. I feel like I got this pack before. There's a John Kruk rookie. There's another one. Pretty cool. Hank DePino, Scott Bankhead, Jackie Gutierrez, Tim Waddle, Keith Hernandez, pretty cool. Put the Keith Hernandez insert there, the 86 All-Star insert. Card 2 of 22. Another guy should be in the Hall of Fame. Great player. Just absolutely tremendous defensive player. Unbelievable. Greg Gagne. Bill Doran. Orlando Mercado. Walt Terrell. Mike Pagliarulo. My man Mike Pags. You know, I feel like I gotta start collecting Mike Pagliarulo cards more. Bob Sebra. Kevin Bass. Gino Petralli. Tom Niedenfuhrer. Terry Harper. Rick Dempsey. Dale Murphy. The great Dale Murphy. What an awesome player. What a great card. I mean, this is just a great looking set. It really is. It's just a tremendous set. Put Dale in the Hall of Fame pile there. Johnny Grubb, Gary Pettis, Tony Phillips, and Herm Winningham. Yep. Let's open some cards. I know I haven't been active for a long time. We got the Tony Gwynn insert. That's cool. I didn't do a video in 3 months, and in the last week, I think I've done. This is my third video. I don't know if you consider this a video. It's live, but I'm doing my thing. Of course, we got Nolan Ryan in the front. That's pretty cool. Right. Let's do it. Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan, Dennis Rasmussen, Greg Minton, Joaquin Andahar, Spike Owen, Andres Galarraga, Wayne Tollison, I remember him very well, Tim Stoddard, Dave Schmidt, Gary Ward, Checklist, Steve Bichelle, Dan Quisenberry. Oh, and here's the Canseco. It's pretty nice. Here's the Canseco. Wow, that's pretty nice, huh? That's pretty good. Oh, I'm chucking these cards to the side over here. Man, if you guys saw the side of my room, man, my wife would come over here and kick me in the nuts. Very cool card. Jose Canseco. Pack fresh, baby. Pack fresh. Gotta put that one aside. You just gotta. That was one of the chase cards. This is Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer. Put him in the Hall of Fame pile. Jim Traber. Bill Mooneyham. Manny Lee. Mike LaValliere. Doyle Alexander. Mariners leaders. Benny DeStefano. Eugene. Jeff Hiron. Kevin Romine. Moose Haas. Jamie Quirk. Joe Orsulak. Fernando. Bruce Bochy. Bob McClure, Doug Drabeck, Ken Griffey Sr., Cal Ripken, Randy O'Neal, the legendary Tony Gwynn, and Paul Molitor back-to-back. Okay, we got 2 Hall of Famers back-to-back. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's the nice thing about these old packs. You know who's who in these packs. These guys are legends. I put those aside. And Randy Bush, Bob Welch, Mike Davis, Dave Stapleton, Sid Bream, Dave Anderson, Franklin Stubbs, Billy Sample, Huey Brooks, Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer, Tommy Lasorda, Hall of Fame manager, Claudell Washington, Donnie Moore, and Marty Barrett. Got to hit that Bo Jackson. Got to hit that Barry Bonds. Let's go. We hit that Barry Larkin. Pretty nice. Cool thing about ripping your own cards, you can take them off the screen and not have to worry about anything crazy. Even if we were breaking this box, it's like a $20 box or whatever. There's a lot of chicanery going on. A lot of whatever, man. You know, scheming. Lots of scheming going on in the game, it seems, and it's so sad, you know. But unfortunately, anywhere where there's money, there's greed. You know, anywhere there's some kind of commerce with money being exchanged, you got greedy people who have no morals and are more interested in ripping somebody off to make a buck than doing things the right way. So, you know, it is what it is. You got to be careful. You tend to find more of that with the modern cards, but you got to be careful because there's some real gems in the vintage community too. Let me tell you, Max Venable, Dennis Lamp, Craig Reynolds, Todd Worrell, Tom Paciorek, Mike Trujillo, Rangers leaders, Dave Concepcion, Rod Scurry, Porter, Craig McCurvey, and it is Reggie Jackson, Brian Downing, Gary Templeton, Tony Bernazard, Andy McGaffigan, Bruce Hurst, awesome pitcher, Bob Tewksbury, Lee Mazzilli, Bob Dernier, Dave Gumpert, Greg Nettles. That's just a card to keep, man. That was no joke. John Mizaruk, Fernando, put his Fernando aside. Rob Murphy, Louis Aquino, Charlie Hudson, Dan Schatzeder. He had a cool rookie Eric card, I believe. Tim Conroy, Gary Matthews, Dan Plesac. His son's playing ball. Zach Plesac right now, Dave LaPointe, and the great Ricky Henderson. Tom Henke, Ken Schramm, Bill Alman, Hal McRae. Come on, let's hit that. Barry Bonds, Charlie Liebrant, Dave Stieb, awesome pitcher. Darryl Strawberry, that's a pretty nice one too. Jim Clancy, Chris Brown, Mark Clear, Rick Burleson, Tony Pena, and Bob Forsch. Bob Forsch, of course, pitched a no-hitter. And Tony Pena was just a tremendous baseball mind and man and player and the whole thing. So we're getting extra tonight, boys. We're getting extra. Okay. Charlie Moore, Dave Kingman. Dave Kingman was the man. This dude hit absolute monster shots, man. This dude was no joke. Hit a lot of bombs. Pissed off a lot of people. Ken Herbick, Danny Tartable. Turn back the clock. Maury Wills, Cliff Johnson. I remember seeing my first Maury Wills card. It was 1967 Topps. Oops. And when I see that card still, it just gives me that feeling of being a kid. This is one of the early vintage cards that I saw when I was a kid. Just a cool looking card, man. Just looks so old, you know. Very, very cool. So I hit my man Barry Bonds rookie card. That would be nice. Jack Morris. Black Jack Morris will put him in the star pile. Jerry Russ. Steve Carlton. Hall of Famer. Just an absolute legend, man. And Yaz, turn back the clock. Not a big fan of those. It's kind of fake card like here. 1967 Topps. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. I mean, even at the time, it was kind of crappy. Checklist. Al Newman. Something about those old Expos jerseys. Just like electrifying. Very cool. And we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Chet Lemon, Mike Flanagan, Bob Ojeda, Lou Whitaker. This guy was no joke. He's another great player. Jerry Hairston. Now we got Jerry Hairston Jr. Roger Clemens. Terry Forster, Dwight Evans, Dennis Martinez, Mike Brown, Steve Balboni, Mike Fishlin, Randy St. Clair, Monagusto, Dwight Gooden. Always keep a Dwight Gooden card. That's one of the guys I collect there. Even though I grew up a Yankee fan, Jesse Barfield, Rick Bordy, Brooke Jacoby, Rafael Santana, R.J. Reynolds, Jimmy Key. Is that Jimmy Key's rookie? It isn't. Bill Russell. Not that Bill Russell. Darryl Dalton. Man, baseball people. Fred Tolliver. Oops, this card is trying to stick. And there's a Darryl. Really cool. Jim Slayton. Greg Matthews. Ken Howell. Mike Fielder. Buddy Bell. Bill Swift. Am I missing a card here? Sometimes these cards stick together. Here's a checklist. Frank Tanana. We spoke about him before. Kurt Young. Eck. Hall of Famer. Gerald Pelly. Excuse me, this is a long day. I've been up since 6:30, and it is 1:44. Gerald Perry, Jim Dwyer, Ron Kokovice, and Steve Burrows. I think I've pronounced Ron's name maybe 4 different ways tonight. It's okay, though. People have been butchering my name since I was a baby. So we got 5 more. 5 more, 5 more, 5 more. And we're really doing it tonight, folks. Late night baseball cards. If you saw what the side of my floor looked like right now, my wife would come up in here and beat me up. I got tons of wax on the floor and a bunch of cards that I'm going to get rid of. Just kind of sitting there. Looking kind of grimy, not going to lie. Let's get into this here. We got Hall of Famer on the front, and we got Lou Whitaker too, man. We got the great Lee Smith and Ray Siraj. I don't remember him. Don't remember him that much, but hey, his mustache game is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, kid's mustache is on point. All right, Ray Siraj is Bobby Witt Sr. Look at this guy. Looking like Brad Pitt. Tony La Russa. Okay. Harold Reynolds, your boy. And there's Donnie Baseball, my man Don Mattingly. And I still get a thrill pulling a Donnie Baseball, man. All these years later, just to get a Don Mattingly, it's just an amazing feeling. Nice card. Yep. Donnie is the man. All right. Kirby Puckett. All right, we're going to put that one aside. And Andres Thomas, Gedman. And there we go. There it is. Bo Jackson rookie. And a really, really sweet one at that. Wow, scented really well. I may have to send this boy right in. Even if I get a 9 on this thing, I don't care. Man, this is one of those top loaders that's from hell. You know, those top loaders that just doesn't want to work. Man, that gets me pissed. It's like you pull a nice card, and then you happen to get that top loader that doesn't want to work. And then, like, it may have done something to the card on a micro level. You don't even know it. Another one. Man, these top loaders get me mad. If I wasn't live right now, I'd probably be using some profanity. Not appropriate for all audiences, folks. But we got a Bo Jackson rookie. And a sweet one at that. That's nice, man. Pulling a Bo Jackson. Pulling a Bo Jackson, what it's all about. And this baby is gradable. Look at that. Centered really well, top to bottom, almost perfect. Back looks okay. Corners are sharp. I might just have to send this one in just because. It's one of those ones, you know, you get a card, you pull a card, and you're like, wow, this thing looks like it could gem it up. It could gem up. So that's cool. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't happy about a Bo Jackson. And now I'm looking for my little slip, grading slips. I don't know if I have any more of those. All right. Let's keep going. There's Steve Lake, Juan Nieves, Mark Wiesman, Rudy Law, Bill Cordell, Lee Smith, another Hall of Fame guy. Now, Lee Smith probably had the best slider I've ever seen in my life. Guy was just a tremendous talent. Reggie Williams, Terry Mulholland, Dave Palmer, Mark Portugal, Tippy Martinez, T.R. Bryden, Kirk Stillwell, Jim Pankovitz. You see, if I'm not familiar with a player, and look at this, he just has, this guy looks like he spent a tremendous amount of time in the minor leagues, which is very commendable, man. You got to respect these guys. That, what year was this guy born? I got to pull this off screen here because I can't see this, man. Got to pull a loop out, I tell you. And this man, Jim Pekovitz, all right? I wonder how many at-bats this dude had. They born. Am I? Wow. Now, this is an interesting card. Jim was 31 years old here. Bless him. God bless this man. And this looks like to be maybe not as well. Yeah, I don't think he may have had an earlier card than this, but he spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He's a baseball man. Shout out to Jim Pekovitz. And listen, anybody who makes it to these levels, anybody who makes it to the level of a professional baseball player, I used to play stickball across the street. I was good. I used to beat up the kids in the neighborhood. But you know what? That don't mean nothing. Because if I was really good, I would have I would have been drafted and all that. So when people tell, I was a good baseball player. Yeah, okay, really. You weren't a good baseball player. You know who was a good baseball player? Guys like this. Guys who never even made it, but were really good. You weren't good. Let me stop. Okay, Steve Lyons. Storm Davis, great name. Mike Maddox. Chili Davis. Great card, man. You gotta love those jerseys, man. Those hats, the Giants. Like, the Giants just have cool colors, the whole thing. They really do. Of course, they are the descendants of the New York baseball Giants, the most legendary baseball team of the 20th century, really. Or the first part of the 20th century, I should say. The first quarter of the 20th century was owned by the New York baseball Giants. And still got a cool logo, even to this day. Chili Davis. All right, Ted Power. This guy's a legend, bro. Look at this kid's face. You kidding me? What? This kid, bro. This kid looks like a porn star, and he has the name, too. This is going to go into the Court of Classics pile, man. I mean, this guy. Come on. Larry Anderson. Milt Thompson. Scott Terry. Lou Whitaker. And it goes Bruce Bochy. Not Bruce Bochy. Bruce Botched. All right. Tim Burke. Jose Rijo. That's a cool. You know, there's something. I don't know what it is. There's just something about the Oakland Athletics uniforms. And I got to tell you, I'm really not happy about the Oakland Athletics leaving. I like the idea of going to Vegas and watching the Athletics play. I mean, you know, I like the idea of a baseball game, I should say. And a Major League Baseball game would always be nice. I love Vegas. I try to go there at least once a year. Great city. Really, really. I got so much love for Las Vegas as a New Yorker. But I don't know, man. The Oakland A's, man, those fans, you know, they got some really great fans. I got to tell you, as a Yankee fan, there's something about, you know, the season and when the Yankees go on their road trip to Oakland, and, you know, they play the Athletics and they play the Angels and whatever they be playing. The games start at 10 o'clock and you go home and, you know, you're watching this game and you had these guys in Oakland with the drums and just the fans and all the I mean, the fans were great in Oakland, man. They seemed like they were so fun. So it just sucks for them because I know they got really great fans, and the people who own the Athletics, they suck. The people who own or run rather the city of Oakland, the politicians, they suck. The people who run the state of California, they suck, and the federal government sucks. So what are you going to do? But unfortunately, the fans of the Athletics are going to suffer. But it is what it is, man. So this is a Jose Rijo, and I just got on his rant because I love the uniforms of the Oakland Athletics. So hopefully something happens at the last moment and they stay in there. Floyd Humans, Larry McWilliams, Bruce Benedict. Let's go, Brucey. Cool card with the bunt. There's Greg Harris. And there's Gid. You talking about, I mean, Ron Guidry. Here's another example of a guy who in the modern era would have been a Hall of Famer because with the less amount of innings pitched and all that stuff. With him, it wasn't the less amount of innings pitched per season. It was per career. But Ron Guidry, man, wow. And I always liked it when Ron Guidry go down to spring training and talk to the Yankees pitchers and stuff. I mean, he's just a legend, man. This guy he's the real deal, man, Ron Guidry. And Tony Fernandez, of course. Rest in peace. Jim Gantner, Omar Monero, Steve Crawford, Vince Coleman, Damaso Garcia, Cal Daniels, and Carmelo Martinez. Yep. No, I'm just going to pull something up in here on Google. Yep. So, okay, let's keep it moving here. We got 3 more packs. And if you want to know what I was pulling up, I wanted to pull up exactly when Tony Fernandez passed. I thought it was 2021, but it was actually 2020. That absolutely disgusting, horrific piece of, man, I'm family friendly here. You know, I know there's young kids who collect, and I don't know any of them that be watching this late at night, but you know, this is a live video and people may see it, so I'm not going to ever use any profanity. I don't think that's the proper thing to do, but yeah, what a year that was. 2020, disgusting year. Man, if there's anything you want to see in the rear view mirror, it's the year 2020. If you live in New York City, if you live in the United States of America, anywhere, I'm just saying from my perspective as a New Yorker, it was especially crappy. We tend to get hit first here in New York for whatever reason. Unfortunately, it seems to be all in the plans. I don't know. One of the legends, Tony Gwynn, pretty nice card, a little bit off center, but again, I spoke about this card. This card was in one of the earlier packs. What a legend, Tony Gwynn. Best hitter I ever seen in my life. Mike Morgan, John Henry Johnson, Tony Armas. Tony Armas, man, this guy put in the work, boy. Tony Armas, what amount of hits this guy had at this point in his career? 1,100 hits, was it? You know, you go 1,000 hits or better in Major League Baseball, man. You got to be respected. I'm trying to, man, do I need glasses? I need this little loop thing to see how many hits this dude had in his career. Hits. Yeah. 1,134 hits. And, listen, you get more than 1,000 hits against big league pitching. You get 100 hits against big league pitching, man. I respect that. I respect anybody who's good enough to play. I respect the guy who plays his ass off, plays in the softball league. I don't care. I just love the game. Glenn Hoffman. Today's been a long day, so bear with me here. I was at work at 6:40 in the morning. Luckily, I got a lot of work done earlier in the week and was able to stop my day, or end my day rather early today, which was nice. But that means that the rest of the week I'm grinding like a beast, putting in the extra hours to make up for the hours I didn't work today. And is there anything better than working a hard week, coming home, cracking a couple of beers, and opening up baseball cards? I really don't think so, man. Other than the things that matter in life, like family, which is number one, and God bless. Let's get into it. Glenn Hoffman, and God bless America. Teddy Higuera, Tim Bishnarski, Bill Dawley, Cliff Speck. Look at this kid. He's like laying back. Kid's doing his thing right here. Orioles leader is going to be Cal Ripken on that piece, no question about it. And the great Mike Schmidt, man, this guy was just a tremendous. And boom, another Barry Larkin rookie card. And this one a little bit off center, but that's okay. That is okay. Barry Larkin rookie card. And this one not centered that well. The other one centered better. But still, we got some nice rookie cards here. We got a couple of nice ones. I'm going to get into them in a minute. Tino Martinez, man. I'm still thinking about looking at that one again. And by the way, Tony Fernandez had 2,276 hits. That puts him in probably the top 98% of players as far as hits go. I'm not even kidding. Tony Fernandez. And this guy was no joke. And unfortunately, he passed away. In 2020, an absolutely disgusting, horrific piece of trash year. Let's get back into it. I don't want to get into a rant. Jim Acker, Joel Skinner, Dodgers leaders, Rick Leach, Dave Henderson. Dave Henderson, man. People forget about Dave Henderson. Frank Williams. Let's hit that. Barry Bonds, Steve Farivoid, Ed Wojcicki, Hal Lanier, Tom Browning, Mike Woodward, Bill Schroeder, Phillips, Scott Sanderson, Kurt Wilkerson, Chuck Finley, Mark Thurmond, and then boom, Dave Winfield, 86 All-Star insert, card number 17 to 22. John Candelaria, the Candyman, Dusty Baker, at this time, Dusty Baker had a really good career too. Dusty Baker was putting up the numbers. I'm actually gonna put. I got Baseball Reference up right here, man. I can't with these cards. I really gotta get glasses. It's unbelievable. I have the glasses. Let's take a look at Dusty Baker's numbers because I can't read them. And then we get the fancy stats from Baseball Reference, which is nice. So, a WAR, wins above replacement of 37. 1,981 hits. That's no easy feat. Almost 2,000 hits, 242 home runs, a lifetime batting average of 278, 1,013 RBIs, 964 runs, 347 OBP. I figure he didn't walk too much. The slugging percentages of 432, OPS of 779, OPS plus of 116. So Dusty Baker, no slouch, man. No slouch at all. Very, very good baseball player. Excellent baseball player. The Hall of Famer Tim Raines. And crazy man, maniac manager, Isaac Guillen. But I like Isaac Guillen. I know he was a kind of a nut bag there. Sid Fernandez, Rafael Ramirez, Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer. Julio Franco, the ageless wonder. We spoke about him before. Billy Hatcher, damn good player. Rance Mulliniks. Ken Dixon, Mark Kupska, Roger McDowell, Fred Lynn, and Ernie Riles, man. And that's another guy weird to see out of the, and I know he played for the Angels for a long time, but I always associate Fred Lynn with the dreaded, demonic, satanic Boston Red Sox. Just kidding. Oh, man. If the Boston Red Sox weren't a thing, what the hell would I do with myself? And I think Red Sox fans agree the same way. Like, if they didn't have the Yankees to hate, I mean, who would they hate? The Orioles, the Blue Jays? Like, who cares? The Rays are beating everybody up. Everybody hates the Rays, but, the Rays don't hate you. That's the funny thing, right? So everybody hates everybody hates the Rays, right? Why did everybody hate the Rays? Well, the Rays don't spend any money. And the Rays got guys you never heard of, and they got a bunch of dudes who can throw 102-mile-an-hour sinkers and all that stuff, and they just beat the pants off everybody. And nobody cares. Nobody goes to the games. Their fans don't care. It's amazing. So that's the funny thing about the Rays, right? It's like if they had the fan base of the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Chicago Cubbies or whatever, it would be a whole other thing. But people just don't care. Many of them are from New York and other places, and they've gone to retire, and they don't really care about baseball. But it's an interesting thing going on in that part of the world there. Hold on one second here. Okay, let's do it. The kid, Gary Carter, Hall of Famer. John Stefero, Juan Bonilla, Frank White, Wade Boggs, put him in the Hall of Fame pile. Steve Ontiveros, Dale Mahorkic, I don't know. Richard Dotson, Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner was a great player. Let me pull up the Buckner stats over here. Let me pull up the Buckner stats. I mean, oh, 2,715 hits. Let me repeat that. 2,700. That's more hits than Mickey Mantle. That's more hits than a lot of guys. Man, Bill Buckner, you know, I don't know if they will ever let him live down what happened against the Mets in Game 6. But 2,700 and change. Mike Trout's not going to hit that many baseballs. He's not. I don't think Mike Trout's going to have 2,700 hits. Mike Trout right now don't even have 1,600 hits. Mike Trout is, I think, 31. Let me look on baseball. Yep, he's 31 years old. And I'm not trying to compare Bill Buckner to Mike Trout. I'm not, you know, please. No one's saying Bill Buckner is anything as close to Mike Trout. I'm just saying Bill Buckner has 2,700 plus hits. And most players that play this, you know, the game of baseball will never even sniff that. Most. He's in the top 98.9, 99%, maybe even more players hits in baseball. So Bill Buckner, no joke. Todd Worrell, Ray, Scott Bradley, Frank Pastore, John. Oh, and there we go. And there we go. The Barry Bonds rookie. Bit off center, but nice and crispy. Jim DeShays, Donnie Hill, Jeff Stone, Ruben Sierra. So we hit the Barry Bonds. We hit 2 Barry Larkins. We hit a John Kruk. We hit the Bo Jackson. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. Here's the Wally Joyner insert. Alfredo Griffin, Bo Diaz, Jim Beattie, Ron Oster, Rafael Belliard, Pete Rose, the man, Paul Ossenmacher, Juan Samuel, Larry Parrish, Danny Cox, Ben Oglieve, Tim Lawler, Jim Wolford, and Alex Trevino. We got 2 more packs. This one has a Kirby Puckett All-Star insert on the cover, or on the top, I should say. Put that on the top, and we got the Randy Myers, and then a Mike Brown. And we've been going on almost for 2 hours. Here's Mike Brown, Tigers leaders, Andre Thornton, Tony Bernazard, Dwight Gooden. That's a nice one. That is a nice one. Always good to pull Dwight Gooden, man. Allen Anderson, Harold Baines, Hall of Famer. I'll put him in the Hall of Fame pile, just like they do with all the other Hall of Famers. Craig Leffertson. When people say, "Oh, Harold Baines," listen, dude, Harold Baines has like 2,800 hits or something. I gave up on the Hall of Fame process. Jose Cruz, awesome player. Devil Leaper. I love this set, man. This set is the best. It really is. Rafael Palmeiro, Future Stars, Randy Myers, Don Schultz, Larry Herndon, John Russell, Ron Asse, Kurt Floyd, Randy Neiman, Paul Zavella, Pat Perry, Ed Correa, Brian Clutterbuck, Darren Knowles, Reds leaders, John McNamara. This kid was the man. I respect him. Lance Parrish, Rich Yett, Carney Lansford. And here is the Kirby Puckett. Wally Backman, Candy Maldonado, Hojo, Jody Davis, Kelly Gruber, Leon Durham, Greg Brock, Jack Howell, Butch Weiniger, Joe Carter, Jack Clark, John Cagliosi, and Darryl Motley. That must have been. Jack Clark had been up in the game for a long time by 1987. Let me take a look at some Jack Clark stats real quick. There's probably been a bunch of guys named Clark. I feel like there's been a bunch of dudes named Clark. Wow, I'm right. Okay, so let's look at Jack Clark. 75 was his rookie year. So by, this is 12 years deep. 340 home runs, 1,826 hits, a WAR of 53.1. First base. That's very, very respectable numbers. So let's open up this last one here. And what is this, Bill? Oh, yeah, we went through these. The Bill Buckner. Yep. Oh, I see Steve Garvey on the back there. Okay, so here's the last one. Maybe catch another Barry Bonds or McGuire, something. Joel Skinner, Ray Quinones, Terry Poole, Dave Parker, Pat Dodson, Rick Anderson, Braves leaders, Harold Reynolds, Checklist, Andre Thomas, Mark Eichhorn, Ken Landreau, Ken Phelps. Sometimes I skip a dude or two. Like right now, Rags, Dave Rigetti, Bill Gullickson, John Felsk, Alejandro Pena, Bip Roberts, Bob Melvin, Joe Pierce, A's leaders, Mike Moore, Joe Cowley, Dwight Evans, Jamie Conkin, I don't know that guy's name. And there's Cal Ripken, great card. Hall of Famer Cal Ripken, the Iron Man, Mark Davis, Tom Condiotti is a Lance Parrish, Mike Landner, Glenn Davis, Aurelio Lopez, Mike Scott, Mike Scioscia, Rags, Dave Rigetti, Mel Hall, Lunatic, Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer, put him in a pile of stars. I'll put Dave Rigetti in there too. Lee Lacy, Gid, another one, Tony Fernandez, Jim Cantner, Omar Moreno, and Steve Garvey. So, wow. Got some really good cards out of this 87 Topps. And I've had these cards for a long time, and I've been wanting to get them open, get them out. get them out of the house, take the ones I want, get the other ones out. And that is what's going on here tonight, boys. Let me tell you, the only one I'm keeping is the Ted Power. I'm just kidding. No, but look, I pulled some nice cards here. Okay, we got the Barry Bonds rookie. Got the Barry Larkin rookie, 2 of them. Got the John Kruk rookie, 2 of them. And let me penny sleeve one of them. And the Moises Alou rookie. And then we got 2 Tino Martinez rookies, which is very cool. Well, let me look at Tino Martinez real quick. Let's look at Tino Martinez, man. Tino. Man, Tino was a player. OPS plus 112, OPS 815 lifetime, 1,009 runs, 1,271 RBIs, 339 home runs, 1,925 hits. Tino was no joke, boys. And here's Ken Griffey Jr., the Barry Bonds, the Chuck Knobloch rookie, and the George Brett insert. So some nice cards were pulled. Got a couple of good rookie cards here. Got some nice ones. John Kruk, Barry Larkin. Got a big stack of Hall of Famers. Pulled a pretty cool Griffey. This is just going to go into the private collection, personal collection, whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much about it. So I ripped about 10 packs of cello packs, 87 tops. Also, we got the Bo Jackson, which is nice. About 10 packs of 87 tops, and we pulled, or rather, we ripped some 91 Donruss Series 1 and 2. Unfortunately, did not hit the Elite Series or the Legend Series, but, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, it's been awesome. These live ones are fun once in a while. Get to just talk and just naturally just flow. So anyway, guys, I hope you're awesome. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying the hobby. Hope you guys aren't getting too upset about the stupidity that's going on constantly in the hobby, because well, that's just what the hobby's about nowadays. It's not that there's more of it. It's just that you're seeing it more. It's like the same thing that you see it everything else. People at each other's throats, and this group hates that group. I don't know if that's true. I just feel like they're trying to push it more, and you see things more. Everybody has the internet. You could go on there every day and look at a horrible 1,000 things that happen that day and be all depressed. But anyway, keep yourself right. Keep your mind up. Keep the faith, man. Enjoy yourself. Thank you, guys. I'm going to hit the sack. I've been up for like 19 hours. Don't have to work tomorrow, but I got to do, husband work and all that. So anyway, guys, be well, and I'll see you next time.